This is the HPT.
Sit right down, put on your poker face. You with the big dogs now. Better bring your best game. Talk trash all you want. To me, it's all the same. You won't leave with much when you come in second place. And I'm the one with the stack showing 7 to the jack. Gonna cry to your mama, cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by professional poker player Mr. Robert Williamson III. This week, we wrap up our event here in St. Louis, Missouri at the River City Casino and Hotel. Only one person can be our new HPT champion, and that person's going to go home real happy tonight.
They sure are. They're going home with almost $96,000. Let's get right to the action.
It's truly life-changing cash, and you heard the man. Let's find out who's playing in this tournament, take a look at the chip counts, and most importantly, take a peek at that prize pool. Well, Robert, a whole lot of cash on the line tonight. A total prize pool of almost $416,000. Our champion tonight's going to go home with a lovely payday, $95,645.
Tell you what, that's a great payday, and all of these guys want it bad. Let's get to the chip counts, though. We got Ryan on top. He's made some big moves last episode. Sean Roberts, our 7th final table HPTer. Paul B rounding off the top 3.
It's anybody's game here on the HPT, and we're glad you joined us tonight from the River City Casino and Hotel right here in St. Louis, Missouri. The action will start with Sean Roberts. He's going to go ahead and raise to $115,000.
Well, Sean's picking up right where he left off last week, raising his first pot, Jack 10 of clubs.
Action over to the 2 seat of Mike. He's going to fold. Now over to Ryan in the 3 seat. Still want to know what he's listening in those headphones. I don't think it's Skid Row, Metallica, or LA Guns, but we'll have to ask him during one of the breaks.
Well, it can't be too important because he only has one ear on.
He's going to go ahead and make the call with his ace-7. And now from the big blind, we've got Jason, and he's going to defend with the blackjack hand, the 6-5.
Yeah, Jason definitely has a very wide calling range.
Go to the flop now. It's 10-5-4, couple of clubs. Action will start with Ryan.
What a monster flop for Sean Roberts. And Jason caught a piece too. This is the danger of playing the 6-5. You catch the middle pair, you never know where you're at in the hand.
And look at Sean. He caught top pair plus his club draw, and it's $350,000 is his bet.
Ryan in the 3-seat folds.
The 3 seat of Ryan is going to fold. Action now over to Jason, and look at this, Robert. He's going to get them all in the middle.
Oh my God! And he ain't going to like what he has to see when these cards get flipped up.
And look at this. He's not all in because he's still got one capping his cards. So that's a raise. He's still got a chip behind him.
Chip and a chair. I hear that's pretty lucky when you have one.
I got a feeling, though, on the next street, no matter what happens, we're probably going to get that chip into play, but you know, very technical here on this HPT final table. Want to thank Jeremy, our tournament director. He's great with the rules, and he's out there running the show like he does each and every final table. So a pot now of almost 2.3 million chips.
All right, let's do the turn card.
Oh, he's going to love this turn card. Queen of clubs. Sean has the flush, and Jason can't win.
All right, let's do the turn.
Jason is drawing absolutely dead. They put their final chip in there, and that's going to do it. A meaningless card here on the river. Sean is going to win this hand, and Jason is going to be eliminated. River card, a meaningless 2-pair now for him. That's going to do it. He's been eliminated. He's going to go out in 7th place with 14,556, but he was gambling a little bit tonight on the final table and last week.
He sure did, James. He started out our chip leader, and he goes out 7th. He's got to be a little disappointed right now.
More chips now to Sean Roberts. They talked about this last week. Don't give the guy any more chips. It is the wrong thing to do because the last thing you want to do is give Sean Roberts more chips at this final table. Action over to Mr. Run Good in the 2 seat. That's Mike. Mike's from Louisiana, Missouri. He's 27 years old, a professional poker player with over $300,000 in lifetime earnings. And look at this. Mike's going to shove all in.
And I don't blame Mike at all. He is our short stack at this final table right now. You've got to pick a spot and take a stand.
Now over to Ryan with my favorite pocket pair, the pocket 9s.
How much is it?
He's asking for a count. Ryan's from Leawood, Kansas. He's 42 years old with over $100,000 in lifetime earnings. He's only got $375 invested in this main event. Another success story with the HPT satellite system. So Ryan's asked for the count.
This is actually a pretty tough spot for Ryan because he's got a lot of players still act behind him.
I'll call.
So Ryan's going to make the call. It's folded around. We're going to flip over the cards, and Ryan probably expected this. You know, a couple of overs he's up against. It's a classic coin flip situation.
Sure is, and I'll tell you what, you have to win these coin flips to win tournaments.
And the flop comes out king, queen, six, couple of spades. So Mike with the Broadway draw. The nines, though, still in the lead.
An ace, a jack, or a 10 is what Mike needs, or his day is over.
Four of hearts now comes on the turn. So it all comes down to the river, as it always does. We'll see if the nines can hold up. One card to go. It's the seven of spades. That is going to do it. Ryan's going to win the hand, and Mike is eliminated, ladies and gentlemen, going out in sixth place with $17,467. Now, that's the second player we lost in this segment. Things are moving along rather quickly tonight, Robbie.
Tell you what, 2 hands, 2 eliminations, but more surprisingly, our once dominant chip leader, Jason Bliven, went out in 7th place.
5 players remain. We'll have more action coming up after this quick commercial break. You're watching the HPT.
Welcome back to St. Louis, where we only have 5 players left with the elimination of Michael Rick. Let's take a look at the action.
Let's take a look at those chip counts, and it's pretty much the same as it was. Ryan, Sean, and Paul up at the top.
I'll tell you what, though, James, we have had a little shifting here. Ryan's gone further out in front, but Sean catching up fast, and 2 eliminations that last round.
5 players remain. We had a total prize pool of almost $416,000. Up top, though, $95,645. And you've got the bragging rights. You can say that you're an HPT champion. All right, under the gun here is going to be Paul F. He looks down at pocket deuces.
Well, seldom loses.
And he's going to go all in with his pocket deuces. Now over to Ryan on the button. We'll see if he can eliminate yet another player at this final table. Probably not going to do it with those 2 cards. He folds, as does Sean Roberts. And we got a call now by Paul B. He's going to make the call. He looks down at ace tray, suited in spades.
So you're saying we got some Paul-on-Paul violence here, James?
Now, Paul didn't think that he was going to have 2 overcards. He knew the ace was probably going to be good, but he didn't think his 3 would be an overcard as well. But he's got 2 live ones. The flop, king, 10, 9, couple of hearts.
And Paul still hanging in there. Oh, that actually eliminates a few more outs. Now, the ace of hearts and the 3 of hearts won't help Paul.
So the river card is the 5 of clubs. Paul Felig is going to win the hand. He's going to double up at the expense of Paul Belkin. So with the battle of the Pauls, Paul Felig comes out on top.
Always against the guy that you're not trying to play against, you know? I mean, I'm getting short, you know.
Paul Felig is 36 years old from
you know,
St. Louis, Missouri. He's got $290,000 in lifetime earnings. 0 money invested in this main event. So maybe somebody bought him in, maybe won that Willy Wonka golden ticket, but he says on his bio sheet, $0 invested. Maybe he had a hot run at the craps table and threw it in that way.
How do you calculate the ROI on 0 buy-in?
It's all good. We'll just leave it at that. Action now is on Ryan White. He's going to go ahead and raise it up with his ace-6, raises to $130,000. Sean Roberts is going to fold. Now over to Paul Belkin. Paul's 50 years old, just $375 invested. Poker is a hobby for him. He raced stock cars for many, many years. And look at this. Speaking of racing stock cars, he's speeding right now with a couple of aces.
I'll tell you what, he decided just a flat call here. Let's see if he lives to regret that decision.
Action now over to the 1 seat of Cullen. We'll see what he decides to do. He's going to fold. No defense from Cullen. So, heads up now to the flop, and it comes out ace, jack, 8, couple of spades.
And
wow.
the case ace on this flop is going to be really tricky because Ryan's got top pair. He's got to think it's good because Paul just flatted pre-flop, and all trappers don't wear fur, James.
He has no idea what he's running into here. and he's going to put out a bet of $180,000. What do you want Paul B to do? You want Belkin to just flat this?
You know, this is such a coordinated flop. I think he can't afford to flat this. I think he has to shove, and he does.
He's going to get them all in, and Ryan makes a quick call. Ryan has no idea. Look at him. He is completely shocked. Has no idea. Paul Belkin on the button. Could have had any 2 cards. He limps.
And Ryan's not going to like what he sees. He's drawing dead.
Ryan was just cruising right along here at this final table. And then this happens. Paul Belkin says, it's time for me to double up and get this tournament into action. Turn card now is the 4 of clubs. Ryan drawing dead.
Let's see the river.
River card now is the king of diamonds. So the double up is complete. He's got quite the rail behind him there, doesn't he, Robert?
Tell you what, seems like a big crowd rooting him on. And the Trapper got his prize.
So Paul Belkin, with only $375 invested in this main event, is going to win the pot, and he's going to go ahead and continue his quest here to be our newest HPT champion. Action is on Sean Roberts. He raises to $130,000.
Well, speaking of continuing his quest, Sean Roberts final tabled 4 of his last 6 HPT tournaments, and he's trying to grab a title today as well.
And now action over to Cullen. He looks down at ace queen, Robert.
Well, we're probably going to see a re-raise, especially given the stack size of Cullen.
Got a raise in front of him. We'll see what he decides to do, if he's going to make a 3-bet here. And I guess that's C, none of the above, my friend. He's going to fold his hand.
What, I'm confused with his stack size. I had to have shoved myself.
Ryan White is going to fold, so we go heads up now. Paul Belkin and Sean Roberts, and the flop comes out 7, 4, deuce, couple of clubs.
Well, Sean, under the gun, is probably going to do a continuation bet right here with these 3 low cards, but Paul flopped the flush draw, so he's definitely going to come after Sean.
And I think Paul Belkin's just kind of playing the rush here. You know, he just doubled up at the expense of Ryan White, and now he's got a 4 flush here, and he's going to make the call and see another street.
Yeah, I probably would have preferred a raise or even a shove all in there by Paul with 2 overcards and a flush draw.
The turn card now, Robert, is the king of diamonds, improving Paul B's hand.
Matter of fact, not only does it improve his hand, it makes Sean drawing dead.
And look at this, Sean is reaching for chips. We talked about his ability to read. Doesn't have the right read here on Paul Belkin, but he makes a bet of $400,000. And now look at this, Paul is all in. I love the move, I love it. Paul Belkin's playing some poker now, my friend.
He sure is. Well, he's got a flush draw and top pair. It's pretty hard not to get all the money in with that hand.
And Sean Roberts is going to wisely fold. So for the second hand in a row, Paul Belkin is going to take down another pot. He's been married 17 years. He had leukemia 2 years ago. It's now in remission, so God bless him. He's doing great. And he's bringing in some chips here at this final table, my friend. Life is good for Paul Belkin.
He's definitely got a smile on his face.
So great to be back here at this beautiful property. It's James Larson and Robert Williamson III broadcasting from the River City Casino and Hotel right here in St. Louis, Missouri. Fold it around now to the other Paul Fehlig in the 9 seat. He's going to go ahead and make a raise now. Going to go up to 135 with the big slick, the ace king.
Oh, and
look at this.
Here. Surely Cullen this time will play these 2 jacks. All in.
All in. It's a 3-bet shove, ladies and gentlemen. Pocket jacks now over to Ryan White. Looks down at 5 deuce. That'll quickly go into the muck. Sean Roberts, 3-2. That's going. And we have a call, ladies and gentlemen. So it's Paul Fehlig going up against Cullen. Behind in the hand, but he's got a couple of big overs.
Well, he's not only behind in the hand, James, he's also the one all in, and his tournament life is at stake.
And the flop is 7, 6, deuce. It's a rainbow. No help to Paul Fehlig. Cullen still in the lead.
Paul needs an ace or a king.
Let's see the turn card.
We go to the turn card now. It's the 9 of diamonds. That's not going to do it. So he's drawn to 6 outs left in the deck. Any ace, any king, or he will be eliminated.
Let's see the river card.
And the river card.
Wow.
Just like that.
Magical card.
Whew. And look at Cullen.
That's sick.
He doesn't know what to think. He had the hand all the way until the river, ladies and gentlemen. But that's why that ace king is such a valuable hand, my friend.
Yep. So many times with ace king, you want to see all 5 cards, and this is the reason why.
5 players remain. When we come back from this quick commercial break, we'll have more exciting final table action. Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by professional poker player Mr. Robert Williamson III. Rob, before we get back to final table action, I want to ask you about our chip leader, Mr. Paul Belkin. He's playing some good poker.
I'll tell you what, he's running good and playing good. That's a deadly combination. I like his chances.
He's trying to win his first ever HPT title, but not so fast, my friend. There's 4 other players that want to do the exact same thing. Looking at the chip counts, they're shuffled up a little bit here. It's like we're playing musical chairs.
It sure has been a game of ups and downs for these players. Paul Belkin now on top. I'll tell you what, he's upticked 1 million chips. Ryan in second, down 1 million. Paul in third. Paul Failing, that is, up 1.5 million.
Blinds are 30,000, 60,000 with a 10K ante. Giving away a whole lot of cash tonight. Up top, $95,645. We're so glad you joined us here on the HPT. While I was talking there, Cullen, no other choice. He looks down at an ace. He's going to get his remaining 35K into the middle.
I suspect he's going to get some callers, James. People want to eliminate this last player.
Yeah, I got a feeling we're probably going to get several, like you said. Ryan's going to be the first one. He's going to make the call. Now over to the blinds we go, starting with Sean. He makes the call, and now the option to Paul B, and he's going to go ahead and check. So it's Cullen versus the world here.
Basically, that sounds about accurate.
He's got a fade, some 10s, some 9s, the tray deuce. Well, right there, we've got a 10. 10, 8, 7 is the flop. So both Ryan and Sean both out-flopping Cullen. Cullen hoping to improve his hand, otherwise he's going to be eliminated. 9 of hearts does not help him. Ryan makes 2 pair. Cullen, unfortunately, is drawn dead.
He sure is. Cullen's going to be our 5th place finisher, James. $21,626. Not a bad payday, though.
Not a bad payday at all. Cullen is 35 years old. He's an electrician from Sullivan, Missouri. He loves the HPT, and he really wanted to make it to a final table. And Cullen, you did that. Congratulations. Spend that cash wisely, and we hope to see you again at another HPT event. Great sportsmanship here. The players stand up, shake hands. You know, we're in the Midwest here. Everybody's pretty happy.
Tell you what, I see this behavior in the South, and I love seeing it in the Midwest too, James.
Now, if you're watching this program and you think you have what it takes to play on the HPT, why not give it a shot? Check out our webpage at www.hptpoker.com. Action over to Ryan, looks down at King Jack of Spades. Hand selection changes a little bit now as we are 4-handed, Robbie.
It sure does. 2 face cards have grown in strength, and as we're seeing from Ryan as he raises this pot up to 120,000.
John Roberts is going to fold on the button. He's been in this situation so many times. Paul Belkin is going to fold. Now action over to the other Paul Failig, and he's going to re-raise a 3-bet now to 320,000 with the old 9-4. Why not, Robbie?
Well, you know, I think either he's a San Francisco 49ers fan or he thinks Ryan's trying to steal his money, and he's trying to steal it back.
Tough year for the Niners this year. Failig in the big blind just making a move here, and Ryan is going to make the call. I don't mind that re-raise by Paul Failig there. He's in the big blind.
Showed a sign of aggression.
It's just unfortunate that he ran into a real hand. The flop now is 6-5-4. Believe it or not, Paul Failig got the best of this flop.
He sure did. He flops a pair, which right now, any pair is really good.
Paul's favorite moments have been when the Cardinals have won the World Series. A couple of times for him as a fan here recently. Now the bet is $210,000.
Wow.
And now a raise by Ryan. He's all in.
Wow. Ryan on complete and utter air. It gets Paul Failig to fold the best hand. Wow. Did not see that coming.
That's impressive, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of the hand, Ryan White, the 42-year-old from Leawood, Kansas. 4th place last year on the HPT at Golden Gates. He's trying to improve on that this week. Well, it's been great to be back here in St. Louis, Missouri at the River City Casino and Hotel. Action now on the button and Ryan, and once again he looks down at pocket 9s, this time 2 black 9s.
Yep, your favorite pair, James.
People ask me that. Why are 9s your favorites? Well, it's like any poker player. I just run well with 9s. Joe Catter ran pretty well, too, when he had pocket 9s winning the WSOP main event on the last hand. So Ryan's going to raise to $150,000. And look at this. Big cards now for Sean Roberts. Looks down at ace-jack in the small blind.
And it looks like that Ryan might be on a steal here. I suspect we're going to see a re-raise from Sean Roberts.
Sean Roberts, his 7th final table, trying to get his 4th victory. Over $500,000 in lifetime earnings. And it looks to me like Sean Roberts is just going to make the call. So now action over to Paul Belkin, see if he's got a hand.
I'd say that qualifies, James. 2 kings in the big blind.
I think so, Robbie. We have got some action brewing here. We got kings, we got nines, couple of big overcards with the ace-jack for Sean Roberts. Now, what does Paul do here? Well, he re-raises. How much do you want him to re-raise to?
I would raise it about the side of the pot, maybe 400,000 more.
It's going to go to 560,000.
Yep, that's about right. A little over 400,000 raise.
Ryan's got a decision here. He's got the pocket nines. He's probably thinking he's up against a hand like what Sean has. He probably doesn't have Paul B on pocket kings.
Absolutely not. Oh my goodness, and Ryan shoves.
And look at that. Sean Roberts doesn't even think about it. He's going to let these two battle it out. Paul makes the call after Ryan's all in. And this isn't looking good for Ryan White.
Yeah, sure is not. 4-1 dog going into this flop. But it's Paul's tournament life that's on the line here right now, James.
So how about this Paul Belkin? A couple of double ups, and now he's got pocket kings, and he's in a great situation now to be a dominant chip leader after this hand.
I'll tell you what, he sure does, James.
And the flop is ace, jack, 10, and look at Sean Roberts smiling.
You can see the look on his face. You would have flopped 2 pair.
But back to the 2 players that are in. Paul B in the lead with his pocket kings.
Queen's coming.
A queen will give him Broadway. Turn card is the queen of hearts.
Wow, and just like that, Ryan can only get half this pot if a king comes, and there's only 2 left in the deck, James.
Unbelievable, just like that. A pot of almost 5 million chips, Robbie. And the river card is the 8 of diamonds, Robbie.
Tell you what, that makes Ryan a straight, but unfortunately for him, Paul already had a higher straight.
And look at Paul, he is so happy. However, Ryan is just devastated. A huge pot, almost 5 million chips. And I tell you what, Paul Belkin is a force to be reckoned with here at this final table.
Close to 5 million in that pot, he can almost taste the victory.
4 players remain. They're all chasing the title tonight. Up top, almost $96,000 in cash. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by professional poker player Mr. Robert Williamson III. We're broadcasting here in St. Louis, Missouri at the River City Casino and Hotel. Kind of a hotbed for poker here, and what a prize pool we had this week.
I'll tell you what, over 415,000, almost 96,000 for first place. We're playing for a lot of moolah tonight, James.
4 players left. They all want to be our newest HPT champion. If we look at the chip counts, a couple of superstars up there at the top, Paul Belkin and Sean Roberts.
I'll tell you what, Paul has increased his stack greatly and is dominating this final table presently, James.
Now, Ryan White, you can see the stack swing. Things not looking so hot for him, but it's not over yet. And it's so important, Robert, in poker, you don't want to tilt too fast. He's still got chips. He's still sitting in his chair. You know, it's not over yet.
That's right.
And action is on Mr. White. On the button, looks down at King Jack. And he's going to go ahead and raise it up now to 150,000. Sean Roberts looks down at Ace Deuce in the small blind. He quickly folds. And now over to Paul. Look at all those chips in front of him, Robbie.
450.
Tell you what, a lot of high society chips.
And now it's a 3-bet. We're going to go to 450,000. We've seen nines all night long tonight. Ryan's thinking, man, I just can't beat this guy. But he's going to go all in, and Paul Belkin quickly makes the call. And Ryan's going to see he's behind.
Well, this is about best case scenario for Ryan because he's got the coin flip. A lot of times with King Jack, you could be dominated.
Keep in mind, Ryan just lost a bunch of chips when he had pocket nines. And the flop is 10-8-4.
Not a good flop for Ryan. Needs a king, a jack, or some runner-outs.
Paul Belkin looking to eliminate another player here at this final table. 5 of clubs now comes on the turn.
Only a king or a jack can save Ryan, James.
Ryan White's thinking, what happened? The river card's the 7 of clubs, and that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, and he is not happy. He's probably not going to get a Christmas card this year, or send one, rather, to Paul Belkin, let me tell you.
Paul Belkin has sure been a thorn in Ryan's side.
But Ryan is going to go home with a nice little payday, $28,904. Congratulations, my friend. Enjoy your cash, and we hope to see you soon. Action continues here from the River City Casino and Hotel. Three-handed poker means not only do you have the button, but you're also first to act. Paul Belkin with a whole lot of chips, my friend.
I'll tell you what, he does have a commanding chip lead. And continuing his assault with the ace-8 of clubs here, James.
Going to raise to 125,000. So Paul F. is going to fold his hand. Now action over to Sean Roberts. He's going to make the call with his queen jack. So it's Paul Belkin and Sean Roberts. And the flop is Jack 6-2, a couple of clubs. Sean Roberts hits top pair. He's going to check. Paul B's going to check. He's got the flush draw.
How could they both check this flop?
Ooh, and look at the turn card, the 4 of clubs. Bad news for Sean Roberts, but he's going to make a bet of 150,000 chips.
Well, good news for Sean is there was a check on the flop. He might not lose as many chips here in this hand.
And let's be honest, Paul Belkin, everything's going right for this guy. He should probably buy a Missouri lottery ticket when he gets out of here.
He sure should. I think we're going to see Sean Roberts make a value bet because it feels like he might have the best hand right now.
The 10 of hearts on the river. Sean Roberts is first, and he's going to make a bet, and a pretty big bet at that, 500,000 chips.
I don't blame Sean. In that situation, it feels like he's got the best hand, but we can see he doesn't.
All in.
And Belkin has one play here. He says he's all in. Look at how confident this guy is. He's having the time of his life. Everything's going great.
I'll tell you what, this is a really tough laydown for Sean. I don't know if I can make this laydown because Paul has represented nothing, like he has nothing hand. Looks like a bluff here.
And Sean Roberts is playing great poker. He's just running into a guy that's running red hot right now.
He sure is. But you know what? The one good thing about Sean Roberts is he makes great reads. If anybody can lay this down, it's probably him. I probably couldn't, James, but Sean Roberts can and does.
He's going to fold. He's going to show his hand. I've never seen Sean Roberts on tilt. I'm not saying he's on tilt, but a little bit of steam coming out from underneath the hoodie, I think. I just don't like that he shows his hand in that situation, Robert.
Tell you what, all you do is confirm that Sean Roberts made a good fold.
And the last thing you need to do is give Sean Roberts confirmation that he's a great poker player and has great reads. You want to rattle the guy. You want them to think that maybe they made the wrong decision.
Absolutely, James. I agree with what you just said.
Action is folded around now to Sean Roberts. Looks down at King Jack. We've seen some loyalty cards here at this final table, and he is going to go all in. And look at this. Paul makes a quick call. He's got King 8. And Paul's thinking, why wouldn't I call? Let's get them all in the middle. I can knock down another player, and we can be heads up.
Well, bad news for Paul B on this particular hand because Sean has him dominated.
Sean Roberts trying to win his 4th HPT title. He's at risk right now in the flop, 2 10s and an ace. So really not a bad flop there for Sean.
Right now, all he has to do is dodge an 8, but there is a 30% chance of a chop pot here, James.
Turn card now is the 4 of hearts.
Well, only an 8 can win for Paul, but a king, an ace, or a 4 would be a chop pot, and Paul could get half of his money back.
What's that?
Players are chatting a little bit. A smile, and the deuce of clubs comes on the river. So Sean Roberts is going to win the hand. He's from Springfield, Missouri, 42 years old. Talked about this before, over $500,000 here that he's won in his lifetime. 7 final tables, and the last 6 events that Sean Roberts has played, 4 of those he's made final tables. Now, every year we team up with Card Player Cruises for a week-long trip at sea. If you're looking for a fun vacation, this is the perfect getaway. Every day is an adventure. I've been on 2 of these cruises and had an absolute blast. Jimmy Dennis is a poker player by trade, so it was no surprise when he made the final table on this cruise.
My name is Jimmy Dennis, and I'm from Minooka, Illinois. My best poker experience was taking 3rd in an $1,100 event for just over $26,000. I guess if I win, it just pay off some bills.
Jimmy would go on to finish runner-up that Card Player Cruise main event for a pretty handsome payday. You too could join us for an exciting poker cruise aboard a luxury ocean liner. Card Player Cruises offers the most poker action, most limits, and the best tournaments at sea. And the poker is just the beginning. It's truly unbelievable how much there is to do on these ships. For all the details, including a list of upcoming cruises and prices, visit www.cardplayercruises.com.
Welcome back to River City Casino in St. Louis. We are now 3-handed at the final table. Let's get right back to the action.
Looking at the chip counts there, Paul Belkin with almost 6 million chips.
I'll tell you what, Sean Roberts making a big improvement in his chip count too. Paul Failing falling off the pace, James.
Yes, stack swing going the wrong direction for Paul Failing. Now, he's been in this position before a few years ago. He was at a final table at the same property where he got second place. And action is on Mr. Failing, who's down at King 8 of hearts. This might be enough to get him all in the middle.
Yeah, I definitely think with as few big blinds as he has left, he has to chug.
And he's going to go all in. Action now over to Sean Roberts. He folds, and Paul Belkin, he's going to make the call with ace-queen. So a good spot here for Paul Belkin to eliminate yet another player. And we could be heads up here momentarily, Robbie.
I'll tell you what, I can't fault Paul Failing, though. Yeah. I like this. At least he has 2 live cards.
Paul Failing on his bio sheet, when he talked about things he likes about himself, he says he has very thick hair. Never seen that before on the sheet. The flop is 5 trade deuce. I can't see his hair with his Compton hat on.
Not a good flop for Paul F. He still needs a king or an 8 or some runner tie-outs.
The battle of the Pauls, and now the king of clubs comes on the turn. Look at that.
Card there.
That also gives Paul Belkin a flush draw, and he already had a straight draw, so any club or 4 or an ace, and Paul Failing is out.
And now we go to the river card. It's not any of those. The 5 of diamonds, the winner of the hand, is Paul Failing. He's going to hang around here at this final table. He's a little surprised himself, I think, Robbie. So much cash on the line. You talk about the pay jumps. Third place is 40,964, and second place is just over 61,000. Action now over to Sean Roberts on the button, and look at this, pocket cowboys.
Oh, you love to wake up with a big pair on the button. Looks like you're stealing. Somebody may try to re-steal back from you.
So raise to 200,000, and just like that, Paul Failing is going to go all in as Paul Belkin folds before him. And Sean's going to quickly make the call. And so Paul Failing, who recently doubled up, has got all his chips at risk. Once again, he's got ace-4 going up against pocket kings.
I'll tell you what, the one saving factor for Paul Failing is he does have an overcard, so he's only a 2-to-1 dog here, even though he's against 2 kings.
And now let's go to the flop right in the window, the king of hearts. Look at Sean Roberts, puts the fist pump up.
Like a knife in the heart of Paul Failing. Only a runner out for a straight. A 5 and a 6 exactly, precisely has to come to save Paul F's day.
Paul Failing is not happy. Second place a few years ago. It's looking like he's going to finish third tonight. Unless he gets some help, it's got to start here on the turn.
And an 8 of spades on the turn, James, and Paul Failing is drawing dead. I guess his luck has finally run out here in Missouri.
He does run well here in Missouri. He's a hometown boy, and this is his 4th HPT cash, his 2nd HPT final table, and for his efforts, he's going to go home with almost $41,000. Well, now it's time in the program, my favorite part of the show. It's time for Heads Up Poker. Will your champ be Paul, or will it be Sean? It starts right now. Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson. He's Robert Williamson III. We're broadcasting from St. Louis, Missouri, here at the River City Casino and Hotel. 2 players remain, Paul and Sean, and so far, it's been the Paul B Show.
I'll tell you what, he's got a 4-to-1 chip lead right now, and Sean Roberts got to turn this ship around and do it quick.
If anybody can turn the ship around, though, it's Sean Roberts. We look at the chip counts, and Paul Belkin, he's got over 7 million. Speaking of Paul Belkin, I want to talk about his return on his investment. $375 is what he has into this thing. Right now, he's staring down the barrel of either $61,000 and change or just under $96,000. So he turned that $375 into quite a small fortune.
That's called a great parlay. Looky here. I think this is what you call Paul Belkin as being a card rack.
Yeah, I mean, the card's hitting him smack dab in the face. However, I also have to say he's been playing well, too. It's not just good cards, but look at this. Pocket 8s now for Sean Roberts, and Paul makes the call. This could be a huge hand of the night. Sean Roberts could double up and get himself right back into this. Paul Belkin stands up. He's got 2 big overs against Sean Roberts' pocket 8s. Flop comes out king, queen, 9, couple of hearts.
Well, Sean stays in the lead, but not a bad flop for Paul either. Sean needs a dodge, an ace, a jack, or a 10, or his tournament life is over.
Turn card now is the 4 of spades, so Sean Roberts looking to double up and get himself right back into this thing. We go to the river card. It's the queen of spades. So the double up is complete for Sean Roberts. And boy, I got a feeling he might do it, Robert.
Well, he looks pretty calm for a guy that just doubled up here in a heads-up match.
You know, I know Sean Roberts pretty well, and this is just the way the guy is. He's just a relaxed guy. He's always very chill. That's kind of what you get with Sean Roberts. So Sean makes the call, and now action over to Paul Belkin, and he's going to check with his Jack-7.
And we haven't seen many limp call pots tonight, James.
Action will start with Paul. He checks over to Sean. Sean's going to check as well. You can see Sean got the best of this flop. Turn card now is the 10 of clubs.
Well, I don't know if Sean can keep afford to giving 3 cards here.
Check, check. We go to the river card now. And this time the 3 of spades, so improving Sean's hand to 2 pair. Paul checks. Sean's going to make a bet of $250,000. Wow, look at this. Paul's starting to get a little clever with this thing.
I'll tell you what, the way he's played, it's almost believable. But
Can you beat 2 pair?
Sean's got 2 pair. I don't think he can get away from this.
Sean just asked him, can you beat 2 pair? Trying to get a read out of his opponent. Reaching into his bag of tricks. I think his mind is made up here. I think he makes
Trying
this
to decide
call.
if I want to put all of it in or.
Well, he says he's trying to decide if he wants to put it all in, but why would you tell a guy, can you beat 2 pair, and then shove on him?
King 3 or 10-3.
Boy, it'd be some serious reverse psychology if that's what he was trying to do if he didn't have it, but we know he does have 2 pair. Boy, can Sean Roberts lay this down?
No, I think we're going to see a call, but I don't think we're going to see that raise that Sean Roberts was threatening.
Here on the HPT, we always see Sean Roberts
Who's
making
gonna
the
call?
right decision, and he's going to do
call
it
me.
right there,
You win.
and he's going to win the hand. Paul Belkin got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Good call.
He says good call to his opponent. And Sean Roberts takes down a nice-sized pot, about 1.5 million
Needed
chips.
to do that after the turn, didn't I?
Scared, yeah.
Well, Robert, it's heads-up poker, so the rules kind of change, don't they?
Head strings go way up. Any ace heads up is a great hand. Any 2 face cards. Well, even in this case, Queen 10 is a big hand.
Paul Belkin trying to just close this thing out, win his first title, and go home with $95,645. But he's got to go through that man, Sean Roberts, who's had so much experience here on the HPT and so much success. Now, we kind of joked about this. Sean Roberts has won 3 titles. They've all been in the state of Oklahoma. And he's trying to break that here this week as he's trying to win his first title outside of Oklahoma as we are in St. Louis, Missouri.
Well, Paul's doing his part to keep Sean Roberts from doing that.
The bet is $450,000 by Paul, and Sean is going to quickly make the call.
Well, Sean did flop 2nd pair. I don't blame him at all. Paul had to take a stab at it, try to steal this pot.
Turn card now
Turn card. Turn card
is the 6 of spades.
Checks over to Paul.
And now Sean's going to check over to Paul. They both check the turn card of the 6 of spades, and now to the river. And the river is the ace of spades. Sean's going to quickly fire out a $500,000 chips.
That's a great defensive bet. I love it because what he doesn't want is Paul making a really big bet that when the ace came. So great defensive bet made by Sean Roberts.
This time a pot of almost 2 million chips. And now an all-in by Paul.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I thought Sean Roberts made a great defensive bet, and Paul went on the offensive.
We're seeing a lot of fireworks tonight on the HPT. Stick around. We'll have more.
All right, guys, we're back here in St. Louis with heads-up action between Sean Roberts and Paul Belkin. Each one of these players is guaranteed almost $61,000, but only one of them will be the next HPT champion. Let's get those cards in the air.
Heads Up Poker continues. It's Paul and Sean, 6.8 and just over 2 million.
So far, so good for Sean. He's holding his own, upticking just a little bit, trying to get some momentum so he can win his 4th HPT title.
Paul Belkin is going to try to win his first HPT title. He's 50 years old, and I love talking about this. He's only got $375 invested in this main event, Robert.
That's great ROI.
I can never get that lucky. I can never have a parlay like that. One of these days, man. One of these days. The raise is to $250,000 by Sean Roberts, and Paul makes the call.
All right, let's see the flop.
Now let's go to the flop. It's 9-8-4. We start with Paul. A very good flop for him, an open-ended straight.
Sean's still in the lead, but Paul's got a much better drawing hand.
You know, I was a little worried about Paul at this final table. Then I was worried when we got down to 4. Then I was worried when he started heads-up play, but Paul knows how to play poker, Robbie.
I'll tell you what, he does seem to have a very good feel for the game.
And the ace of hearts comes on the turn. Action over to Paul. He's going to check to Sean, and look at this, the continuation bet. I like it a lot. He's trying to represent a hand he doesn't have, and he bet 600,000.
What Sean doesn't know is he's bluffing with the best hand.
Action over to Paul.
I'm calling.
No, I don't like this. I'd rather see maybe an all-in there. Probably should have happened after the flop, right, Robbie?
Yeah, either on the flop or now, but just flat calling here. Now he has to catch a card to win this hand.
Yeah, you can lose a lot of chips just check calling all the way down. And we go to the river now, a pot of over 2 million chips. Both these players have their sights on that HPT title and $95,645. And the river card is the Jack of Hearts, the card that Paul wanted.
And he goes all in. I think after he slow played, I might have just checked there and tried to see if Sean would hang himself.
A pot of over 3 million chips going Paul Belkin's way. And he's getting even closer to this HPT title. And he looks down at the HPT special, the King Queen. He's all in, and Sean is going to make the call. Again, we've seen such big cards here at this final table, especially heads up.
It's just so stressful, man. How do you do it all the time?
2 live cards for Sean Roberts, the Jack and the 10 suited in spades. But right now, Paul Belkin looking like he's going to win his first HPT title. He's got his hat off, both players standing up. It all comes down to these next 5 community cards. We go to the flop first. King 8 tray.
And Sean falls further behind.
Paul improves on his hand, pairing his king. He goes over to his rail, a quick fist pump.
And Sean needs a runner. His tournament life could be over right here, right now, James.
Turn card is the 4 of spades, so we've got the spade draw.
He picked up one of his outs.
Remember, this is Sean Reggie Roberts we're talking about. Never count him out.
So now Sean needs any spade to stay alive.
We go to that river card, ladies and gentlemen, and we know it's 5 minutes till 10 o'clock, so it's got to be over right here. There's no way it can't be over right here. And Robert, here's the card we've all been waiting for. It's the Ace of Diamonds.
I learned a lot from you, buddy.
Paul Belkin is your new HPT champion.
And a great show of sportsmanship there from our former HPT champion, Sean Roberts. Congratulating Paul Belkin on this victory.
We have a brand new HPT champion. His name is Paul Belkin. He's going to go home with the title, the bracelet, and almost $96,000.
I'll tell you what, though, Sean Roberts played great. And a nice consolation prize. He won over $60,000.
He's joined right now for a quick interview with Trishelle. We'll send it down to the floor.
All right, guys, I'm here with our runner-up, Sean Roberts. Sean, you're no stranger to the HPT. You've made 8 final tables and 3 wins. Congratulations on second place. I know that you were hoping to book another 4th win, but God, you can't have it all, can you?
That's right. It's all good. And there's some things that are really tough to overcome, and one of those is just playing against somebody on their home turf. I mean, I've been on the other end of that, and when you're running good and you're at home, it's a very tough, intangible thing to overcome.
Well, if I were to describe you in one word, it would have to be resilient. I mean, I thought that you were out almost, and then you came back with that huge hand that you won with Ace King. Tell me a little bit about how you were feeling.
I was just lucky to have a chance to do that. I mean, sometimes you can play all day and never even have a chance to get your money in and have a flip. So I was lucky to even have a chance to do that, and I was even more lucky to win the hand. So.
Thanks so much, Trishelle, and once again, congratulations to Sean Roberts.
I'll tell you what, though, let's talk about the man of the hour, Paul Belkin. Let's hear what he has to say.
He's going home with a whole lot of cash, and he's joined with Trishelle.
Hey guys, I am here with Paul Belkin, who is our newest HPT champion here at River City Casino Hotel in St. Louis. How are you feeling?
It's awesome. I just can't even put words to it yet. I mean, I've got a real big crew back there cheering me on, and everything just went real well. To be honest with you, Paul and Sean was probably the last two guys that I wanted to come up against if we got this far, and it ended up being those two guys, so it was really weird.
Now look, you have a huge rail behind you. This is a lot of support here. You're a local favorite. I mean, how does it feel and what does it mean to you to be able to win a championship over here in your hometown?
I can't even put words to it. It's just so awesome. I mean, my wife, my family, my friends, I mean, they're all here, and I just really appreciate all the support from everyone. And it was awesome.
Okay, so you won over $95,000. Do you have any plans for the money?
I'm going to pay the taxes first. And then we're going to probably try to buy our way into the WSOP and play some more of these HPTs, because I really like the HPT setup more than anything we've ever played.
All right, again, Paul Belkin, our HPT champion at River City in St. Louis. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Trishelle, and once again, congratulations to Paul Belkin, going home with the title and almost $96,000. Robert, I'll be very honest with you, I'm exhausted.
I'll tell you what, it was a grueling match, but as they say, someday chicken, someday feathers. A lot of chicken today for our champion, Paul Belkin.
Now, if you're watching this show and you think you have what it takes to play right here on the national stage, why not give it a shot? Check out our webpage at hptpoker.com, and who knows, maybe you'll be playing for the life-changing cash. For Robert Williamson III, I'm James Larson, and we'll see you next time on the HPT.